Hello, Mr. Brian.
I'll go on.
So first and foremost, Matt, you do have a warrant for you.
Nice.
Patar and Sparky, probably y'all as well, but like I ain't trying to press that right now unless you want to go to jail after, like, before tsunami hits.
Wait, why do I have a warrant? Oh, for stealing them?
Yeah, yep.
I have my expungement.
You have an expungement. I know. What the fuck are you doing, Patar?
Trying to be clean.
All right, listen. I'm gonna make you. Maybe we can work something out, Patar, but I need you to like give me something. Like I need Gigi's warehouse.
I don't snitch.
What? I'm just saying.
There
like I mean, listen,
no
the man's
foreplay
clean.
involved in that.
Damn,
That was
he just went
that was
straight into it.
Yeah,
straight to
of course.
entry.
I don't play around. Like what?
You need Gigi's warehouse?
Yeah, find me Gigi's warehouse, and I pretend you weren't there.
And what did we get out of it?
You continue to have a clean record.
And that's it?
Yep.
Okay, Brian, what's the real reason?
That's the actual reason. I'll give you 24 hours, and if you let me know, like, actually authentically where it is, you just point me at the location what the property is. And if you ain't bullshitting me, that warrant doesn't ever get applied.
Why do you assume that we know this type of information?
I don't think you necessarily know, but I think that you have more of an ability to find out than I do.
You know who likes to sing?
Who's that?
I think Rust. They like to sing a lot.
Yeah, well, I mean, just consider that as a possibility. Like, I'll let you look. I'm not going to hold you to it, but it's just an offer I'm throwing on the table. I'll let
That's
you think
it?
about it. You know? Yeah, that's it. I just want to know, like, hey, this is one of their warehouses. Easy clap.
Hey, Brian.
My main reason for talking to you guys is like, I'm trying to get like a good understanding of what's going on between like you and Roosters. Now, the reason I do this is as follows. I don't know if you know this, but I do run the UPD's investigative unit.
Yeah.
DA's office falls under me. I'm the guy that picks and chooses when a crew gets fucked. But whether I'm pushing like the Rust Act or whether murder or like whatever the fuck it is, I have a different way of doing things. I don't knock on your door at night, end up with a hut charge. We don't talk to you. Your life is ruined and you don't even know what's going on, right? I take each and every circumstance like for what it is. So
Yeah.
where I'm going with this is as follows. I want to understand what y'all's beef is with Roosters so that I can assess if there's a middle ground and I can tell you what the line is. And so that if you end up crossing that line, you know what to expect out of it.
Well, short story short is they have a couple of our chains. They've been roaming around the streets, acting like gangbangers, and whenever we find them lacking, they run straight to Roosters.
Let's go over here just so.
Thank you. That saved me shin pain.
But in reality, our beef isn't with Roosters. It's just the people. There's people who just instantly run there. You know, it's Cerberus in a sense. You know.
Well, okay, so hold on a second. They have your chains?
Yeah, a few of them.
Wait,
I'm
what?
in the car. I'm not willing to contribute to the
Yeah.
work, like to even facilitating this guy's conversation.
Okay.
But I was only saying this so that we
sorry,
don't
I'm just
get
trying
the
to
rust
process this. I wasn't expecting. Okay. So, like over time, like over one incident, or have they been like collecting them?
I think it was. I think it was one incident.
No,
And
it wasn't.
Was it over
It's more than
time?
that. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it was over time, and they've been just collecting them in a sense.
Okay.
So all we want is our chains back.
That's it.
Yeah, and they just keep running to Roosters every time we find them. So that's literally what it is. They wanna go back to Roosters so that they can push the Rust Act on us. You know.
Yeah, interesting. Okay. So then, okay, so, but how did this begin? Like, why were your chains taken to begin with?
It started, long story, a scam. They tried scamming us, blah, blah, blah. Then everyone wanted to get their get back, blah, blah, blah. It built up from there. You know how it be.
So there were some shootouts that happened first before the chain stealing?
You're a smart man, Brian. You can piece 1 and 2 together, but that's all we want is our chain. Other than that, we don't care.
You literally just want your chain. Okay, so then the next question is, because here's where it gets confusing for me. And if I'm confused, you can assume the rest of the PD's confused, because I mean, I'm sure you understand why. So I don't believe it's Cerberus, because Cerberus is, there may be members of Cerberus, right? But they're huge, right? And there's a lot of civilians at Roosters, but there are criminal elements. So if we were to like reduce down, can we call, like, is it Lang Gang that's doing it?
I won't give you any names, but that's all we want from them.
I got you. But the aggressors are like, let's just call it Lang Gang. Is that a good summary, or does it extend beyond that? I doubt Nancy Drew is clapping you.
I don't know, Brian. I don't. That's all I'll give you is they have our chains. That's what we want.
I got you.
And that's all. That's all is gonna happen. You know.
Okay. So let me ask you one more thing, and this is important because this helps me understand whether the line for Rust is being. Let me tell you this. I'm one of the individuals that were helped get Rust enacted. I know when it's supposed to apply. I know when it's not. And even then, there's a level of discretion, right? Now, I'm not a believer that the Rust Act should ever be weaponized. I also believe that it's something that should only be used in the most severe circumstances. So in other words, like, if you are hiding behind civilians, that does muddy the waters. And it sounds like you're claiming that that is what they're doing.
I'm just saying, every time we see them, that's where they run off to. And all we want is our chains. That's all.
Okay. But so let me be a little bit more explicit. So, and I had a similar conversation with members of Gulag. I'm sure you've heard they've been getting into beef with them as well. Are they actually running back to Roosters, or are you, the people you're looking at, happening to be at Roosters? Because like, y'all were clearly went to Roosters today. So
okay, so I'll give an instance. I'm not going to give names, but two evenings ago, I got rolled up on, myself and a friend, by 6 individuals. Obviously, you know, it didn't go too well for me. And then within, you know, 10-15 minutes of that happening, the 6 individuals were just at Roosters.
So they just had, that's like their base of operations, is what you're trying to say. They're not running to Roosters. It's like you're trying to get at them, but they're using Roosters as like a safe spot.
They'd be doing both.
Yeah, because I've had an instance where I find somebody driving around that's been involved in stuff, and then you try to speak to them or you know, get them to pull over, and they just drive straight back to Roosters, like literally.
So let me ask a question. What, knowing that you could face Rust. I'm not saying that you are, right? But it's a possibility, right? Why, if they're at Roosters, why not wait until they're out? Like, why risk it?
Because they aren't out ever.
Yeah, and those chains actually mean stuff to us, you know?
Yeah, that's more than just a chain.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I can raid for chains.
Nah, it's okay. We can get them back.
We can get them back
Yeah.
ourselves.
Yeah.
Like, are you gonna risk rust for it? Because like, let me kind of paint like a reality, right? So, if I'm gonna cut it straight. It's been tough on the PD side, right? We're dealing with shootouts with you guys. We're dealing with shootouts on the GG side, to a certain degree. At a certain point,
Okay, yeah.
you know,
I'm just bloated. 'Cause I ate a lot of
police
food.
generally don't like responding to gang shootouts. They don't. I enjoy it because at least I'm interested in like the political shit, what's actually happening, right? I look at it beyond just y'all just shooting each other. That's not the vast majority. So the reality is like these shootouts happen like every hour, not just from you guys, but just cumulatively. And so cops are going to arrive on scene and they're going to take a very like simplistic take of what took place. And while it might be true, for example, you get into a little shootout, it goes to roosters. Now they're using the roofs, right? So from your all's perspective, you're like, yo, we're trying to get at these guys and they're running to the roosters, kind of like it's the hospital, right? You know, people have done that. Like, you know, let's say that's what your perspective is. But then the cops arrive on scene and they just see you guys' bodies at roosters. From that officers arriving on scene, from their perspective, it looks like you're shooting up an establishment. There may even be some civilians, right? Because granted, there might be some gangbangers there. There's people getting food. There's people with clean records work in the front. They're injured potentially, right? Now, all of a sudden, that's a strike towards the Rust Act.
So, question.
Yeah.
People shooting at us from roosters, if they're equipped with illegal firearms, deagles, suppressors.
That is something that I have heard about, and it's something that I'm looking into.
Yeah.
There is, you're not, it doesn't, like, I'm not, like, ignorant to the fact that that shouldn't be happening, right? Like, I can get the perspective of, it's sort of like what I'm telling you guys, right? Like, y'all are trying to get your chains, but the thing is, like, they're holed up in roosters, so, like, you're left with very few options, but you're risking rust. In the same vein, their argument is like, well, you know, I need to use a deagle, I need to use a python, otherwise I'm going to shot down. Well, the thing is, well, you're risking that we come after the business because your security guys are equipped with illegal firearms. So my point there is, like, there is no right and wrong on a lot of these aspects. Well, there's a little bit of a muddied water, and by me trying to figure out where it is, I can at least try to draw the lines. But honestly, I mean, listen, they're on thin ice as well. How the chips end up falling, I don't know yet. This is kind of new territory for a lot of folks.
Yeah.
All I must say is, I feel like you're wasting your time looking at us and GG. I feel like it's we're in the open. It's pretty obvious what we're doing, but they're hiding behind laws, but they shouldn't be, really. You know?
That isn't entirely true. And I tried to tell Google Gang this yesterday as well. Is they may think that they're hiding behind the law, but I'm not a dumbass. And I'm not wasting my talking to you guys, because by understanding your perspective, I have a better understanding of what I'm looking at when I get to a crime scene. Oh shit, it's
yeah.
Ban me for that. I don't care. Chat, I don't know at what point Qatar snitched. There was no snitching. It's more of, hey, this is what's happening. This is they're trying to use the Rust Act. That's it. We just want our chains back. This. At no point did Qatar physically give them evidence to go after them, no? It's pretty much a conversation about the Rust Act, you know? It's him giving us an olive branch of being like, hey, if you guys continue this, you guys are gonna get hit with the Rust Act, you know? Y'all actually want the chains though? Yeah. I know Harry and Dean have been communicating about what's it called. But the thing is, if none of us know Dean was communicating with Harry, we don't know that was going on, you know?
To even stand and have a conversation with the police officer. That's just like me, where like my.
No, I get that.
No,
I get that.
I fully agree. We're
I get
basically
that.
snitching at this point.
I mean, we
We're
didn't give him
helping the
information.
No, but you could see how it looks like, right?
Yeah, but we didn't give him anything that they don't already know. They know we're fighting roosters, and the only thing they know is when they're luring us to roosters, and that pushes away from the Rust Act. That's it. There were no names, no this, no that.
Yeah, no, I don't think it. I don't see it as snitching at all. Me personally won't speak to it. Like if a cop called me and asked to meet, I would say no, but I wouldn't be pressed if you man went and met him. You know what I'm saying?
The thing is, Brian, I don't know how much
personal
you've interacted with Brian, but Brian's different than other cops, you know?
Yeah, but he also is exactly the one
fishes
who
too,
he knows the right questions to
What
ask.
I'm saying?
Yeah. What's good, Brian?
Well. How'd he do, Mr. Knight?
In a hot minute.
How you been, man?
Been all right, not too bad. You know, coming back from a nice little vacation, so.
Where'd you go?
It was mostly a staycation. I'm gonna be real. It was good. A lot of local things.
Good morning,
Well, welcome back.
Welcome back indeed.
Good morning.
Well,
I hear.
I'm coming back to like fucking World War V or whatever.
Yeah.
I'd say
Yeah,
World
you know
War III,
what?
but I feel like we've already had that in Los Santos.
That's the
I
thing
think-
is, anytime there's wars or conflict in the city, it happens in one push.
Yeah, things happen in waves.
Yeah.
I think it's just because like we're so like interconnected. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, so I don't remember where we left off. Do you know if Matt's coming through still?
I don't know if he can wake up or not. It's more of
My God.
Yeah.
He's very tired. You know, he's it's almost bedtime for him.
Yeah, he
We'd
likes
be
to
happy
sleep
to
in
see him.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes he, you know.
Oh, I feel you.
Yeah,
Makes
yeah.
sense.
Let's hear for all those Home Depot dads. Whoa.
Steve, we're at the
What
block.
is saying, dude?
So what's good, Brian?
Not too much. So, all right. I mean, we can pick up where we left off. Like, all right. So, like, listen, man. I feel it, right? Like, they got your chains, but you can't even get at your chains because they're at Roosters and there's a bunch of civilians there, right? It'd be kind of like, it'd kind of be like similar to like if Hydra took a shit but just chilled at Ooh Cafe all day. 'Cause now you guys are at a predicament, like you trying to buck, but like someone's hiding in the hospital. Like I feel it. Now the reason why I try to figure these things out is because I'm not. It allows me to better understand what I'm witnessing when I get on scene. That it's not just here's what I'm going to say. I am certainly going to I'm on nobody's side. At the end of the day, I just want the conflict to end. I don't want civilians to get hurt. Just straight up. I don't want to have to even consider pushing Rust because I promise you that's more paperwork than you could ever imagine. It's like actually insane.
Yeah.
So,
Hey guys.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
So I got to put some pressure on both ends. Like for me, I'm trying to figure out like, can you not buck out of the Roosters? And on their end, I'm trying to understand why the fuck you walking around with like illegal firearms.
Steven, please wake up, sir. Steven, I'm doing your call.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I do understand where you're coming from, you know?
No, for sure. But like, what I think what I'd asked you before was, are they really not leaving the compound? Because they've been shot up by GG like way away from Roosters.
I mean, when we find them, we find them, but
So,
we'll, we'll see. That's sometimes you always run back to home, you know.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
Do you think it's gonna end anytime soon?
We'll see. I'll make a couple phone calls, see if we can end it in that sense. But all I want from them is something simple, and we'll see. But I appreciate you coming by, Brian, and you letting us know. I get the pickle you're in. And
I will tell you this: that
yeah,
if we end up using a heavy hand, which obviously it's on the table, I'm not saying for sure it makes sense. I don't know enough. I haven't looked at each incident. I just I'm still trying to figure things out. But if it does start getting to the point where like it's actually seriously being considered, like where it might become a reality, you'll at least get a bit of a warning, so that you have a choice to make at the end.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I get it. If we force your hand, you're kind of left in a pickle, But if that warning can be dropped, it'd always be appreciated,
Yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah.
As for the warrant, I'll leave that 24 hours. You decide. I'll give you a call probably sometime tomorrow, and
sounds good, Brian.
Y'all take care.
You too, Brian.
Have a good day, Brian. What's this warrant?
I picked up the boys when they were shot. So I have a warrant for picking up the boys.
Scaremongering motherfucker thinks he can come here and wave around as if he's gonna do the rust act when none of us have even been caught at the fucking roosters once.
Well, that's what I mean.
The guy thinks he's slick, bro. It's never as simple as it seems. He can't push shit, bro. They have not caught us there once.
That's the thing is we
also
should.
can't push a warrant for you, I don't think, because he.
It makes perfect sense what he's trying to do, right? He wants to scare us, thinking we're gonna get rust act, so we give him the information that declares that the people we are fighting are a gang.
Yeah.
So the more he scares us, the more he wants us to prove them as a gang.
I think Brian is genuinely trying to help us, but we gotta think about it differently. The way I see it right now, Brian knows Lang and Roosters is in possession of stolen goods. He could so easily get that back. The only thing he wants to do is prove that the bigger picture here for him is proving that Lang and his boys are a gang, and for that he needs our help. He's trying to keep the conflict going for his own better interest by making it look like he's throwing us a bone. He could so easily get those chains back and end this war here, but that's not what he's after. He's after Lang, and he's I wouldn't say he's throwing us as bodies towards Lang. He's using us as bait.
Yeah, that's why he's trying to scare us with Rust Law, because the only way we beat Rust Law. No, but
he's doing the complete
that's
opposite.
what he just said.
No, he's saying that I'll give you a warning. I'll try to keep the Rust Law away from you as long as I can.
Yeah,
but that's trying to be a friend.
He's playing both, though.
Yeah,
exactly. That's what I mean.
He's doing the friend and scaring, because
he's basically trying to get us to attack Lang and that, knowing that we'll probably just get a slap on the hand. That will work in his favor, because then he'll probably get evidence knowing to prove that Lang and his boys are part of criminal activity.
We're making the same point, but phrased differently.
Yeah,
right
exactly.
Now.
You both are.
Boys, I'm gonna be real here. I'm getting frustrated hearing Saint's voice in the background while this conversation's happening. Sorry, I just have to get that out there.
The way I see it, what we should do now is just keep Brian at a distance, do what we have to do. And if Brian does somehow get involved with this, we just don't...
Oh, Brian is 100% getting involved in this.
No, but I mean directly with us. For example, if we're in a shootout directly and Brian shows up, we just deny that we have anything to do with it.
What's that, Ved?
I'm not saying we should work with him, but we should definitely keep him as an ally, because it can work in our favor.
What's that, Ved?